Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news. Alek Minassian has been found guilty of murder and attempted murder for driving a van down Yonge Street in a murderous rampage back in April 2018. Crime specialist McDonald joins me now with the reasons behind the verdict. And Catherine, 3 years in the making, so many relieved families right now.
Absolutely. Madam Justice Anne Molloy rejected the defense argument that Alek Minassian was not criminally responsible, finding that not only did he know legally what he was doing was wrong, but also that he morally knew what he was doing was wrong, finding him guilty of 10 counts of first-degree murder and guilty of 16 counts of attempted murder. Now, Molloy spoke to exactly what happened that day. She refused to name Minassian in her judgment, only referring to him as John Doe, saying that she was acutely aware media coverage is exactly what he sought from the start. Molloy said that while she accepted that autism spectrum disorder is a mental illness within the section of the criminal code that deals with the not criminally responsible defense, she said Minassian chose to run down innocent people that day. She said he planned the attack, showed no remorse nor empathy for his actions, and knew that his plan constituted first-degree murder, which is why his plan was to die by cop that day. She said Minassian sought fame and notoriety and had been fantasizing about a crime like this for over a decade, and admitted after the mass murder, quote, "I feel like I accomplished my mission." Molloy calling it despicable and horrible. Here's reaction from a survivor and the family of Anne Marie D'Amico, who was killed that day, as well as Boris Patinsky, who argue that Minassian should be found not criminally responsible.
It's not closure, and it's not like I'm not happy. I don't feel like dancing, but I feel like justice has been done. It was the best I could hope for. I think it was a fair decision, and he can spend the rest of his life in jail because he deserves it.
I hope that the media can kind of take her wishes to heart and really try and see if we can change the culture of how we acknowledge people that do things of this nature. And I haven't used the name of the perpetrator since it happened for that reason. We can get fame in positive ways. We don't need to go down that road.
Mental health law for NCR law. I think there are legal rulings within this decision that are very significant. And I like to think that they're significant in a good way, because I think that we're at a place where we need to start thinking about NCR verdicts perhaps differently.
So it was quite a scene here outside 361 University while this verdict was delivered virtually on YouTube. Many of the victims gathered here today to watch and be there for each other, support one another. The Crown Attorney Joseph Callahan called this the just and fair decision. Neither he nor Boris Patinsky would comment on what an appropriate sentence should be. On the 18th of March, we will have a sentencing hearing here at the courthouse, likely again on a virtual platform, at which time the decision the judge must now make is, will Alek Minassian serve this life sentence with parole ineligibility consecutively or concurrently? Because he's been found guilty of 10 counts of first-degree murder, if he served those sentences consecutively, he could be facing 250 years without parole eligibility, which would mean he would virtually die in jail. So this is the next part of this phase, but it looks like he could spend the rest of his life behind bars, which is something all these families are so relieved to hear finally after 3 years. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much for the update. Catherine McDonald outside of the University Courthouse.